So far, things are looking really great today. We finally have some sort of crypto legislation that is advancing to the Senate. No, it is not law yet. These things take some time, so be patient. We also have some bearish news when it comes to Amazon and layoffs. I believe they laid off about 15 to 16,000 people, which is atrocious. It's absolutely disgusting. And we've got the CFTC and the SEC working together, plus crypto 401ks. Those are going to be coming soon. However, we still may be facing a government shutdown. So we'll have more information about that. If both parties can't come to an agreement, we'll see things shut down on the 31st. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. But most importantly, this is incredibly exciting that we finally got something done. Like, it's just absolutely incredible. And I understand a lot of people are very upset with the current market prices, what's happening with the markets. Bitcoin's obviously slumped a little bit. Gold and silver's been pumping like crazy, acting like altcoins, pump and dumps, all kinds of things like that. But crypto is just kind of really bottomed out. Bitcoin's not doing a whole lot. But I want to remind you, never in a million years did I think that we would have the CFTC and the SEC come together to talk about positive steps forward for the crypto industry. Crypto 401ks are eventually coming. Like, the White House is incredibly bullish on crypto, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. And I understand people are pissed off with Trump and his family and their actions with the meme coins and whatnot. But the silver lining here is that we can't always get what we want. Market doesn't care about us or our feelings, but what we can do is be grateful for what we have. Because if you sit and you focus on the negative all day long, you're going to have a terrible quality of life. Like, there's really nothing we can do. The only thing we really can do, we can, write letters. We can make our voices heard on social media. We can discuss these types of things, and we can self-educate ourselves. But there's big things that are happening, things that are bigger than us. And again, we're retail, so our opinions don't necessarily matter. They just care about us for our taxpayer dollars. They just look at us like a dollar sign. That's really it. They don't care about our feelings. They don't care about how we're doing in our personal lives. They don't care about our investments, none of that. But what we can do is we can just come together and be like, you know what, this sucks, but this is the way the world works. We're not that important in that realm, but we are important in the ability to be able to make personal choices for ourselves on how we invest and what we do. And these are all solid foundations moving forward. I know it's not right now. I know it's not instant. I know the society is so used to instant gratification, which is fine, but that's not the reality of the situation. So instead of being like negative and pessimistic, we got some sort of structure. It's advancing. And we have updates. So it's good. This is good. This is positive. And I know sentiment's at all-time low. I'm seeing your guys' comments on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube. I get it. But it seems that my YouTube crowd, you guys are a little bit more well-versed in how the world works, which I absolutely love that. And my Rumble crowd too. Absolutely love it, because it's important to be realist about this stuff. So anyways, welcome back to the O Show. Everything crypto every single day. I'm WendyO. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Like, drop me a comment. We do our best to read them all, and share this, push this out. Today we're streaming on YouTube, Rumble, and X. And I got to give a quick shout out to my YouTube babes. Thank you guys so much for showing up for me every single day. Darn it, I forgot to do the stream settings properly, but that's okay. Shout out to Mike. Thank you so much to Lawrence for the $10 super chat. To Dale, Mr. R, John Germain, John Legend, Cherry. Who else? Gorgeous Alexandra. There's Chipper. Mick Bollinger, love it. Yep, everything comes to those who wait. God helps those who help themselves. That's one of my favorite sayings ever, because not only does it encompass like the universe and God, but it also forces people to be accountable for their actions. And God will help you. You can pray and you can manifest. You can do whatever it is you want to do. But at the end of the day, if you do not put in the work, you don't put in the time to help yourself, you're not going to get results. Very few people will do that, but very few people will get results. And the people that do get results, they have it up here. They're praying, they're manifesting, they're actively putting effort into it. Shout out to Matt XRP, to Alpha Gamer, to Neil Weston. That sounds like a country singer's name. But let's go ahead and get into it. There's a lot of exciting stuff happening. Oh, yeah, and I didn't get a good night's sleep last night because my baby, she got a cold. So I got to pull out the humidifier tonight, and she won't do any type of like organic nasal spray or anything like that, just because she's just so particular with everything. So it makes it hard. But kids or saline spray, kids are going to do what they're going to do. And the best thing I could do as a parent is be like, hey, this is your choice. But of course, I forced her to do things that she needs to. But anyways, she'll be fine. It's just a cold. Kids get colds. That's what kids do. But let's get in and talk about what's happening. I want to first talk about the this right here, the market structure. So Senate AG committee just passed its portion of the Clarity Act out of a committee on a 12-11 party line vote with no Democrat voting in favor. We'll get back to that in a second. And just shortly after, the crypto bill clears U.S. Senate milestone as efforts advance through first committee. The market structure legislation for the first time advanced beyond a committee, setting up the next steps. It could end with a vote in the overall chamber. So this is good. Things are moving forward. We like to see it. This is positive. This is good. So the Senate AG committee advanced its own version of the crypto market structure bill after less than an hour of markup. All Democratic amendments fail, including proposals on ethics rules, banning government crypto bailouts, and limiting CFTC authority without a full commission. Republicans argue that the bill brings needed regulatory clarity and said unresolved issues can still be addressed later in the process. A separate version of the banking committee must also pass before both texts merge. A merge bill would then go to the full Senate for a floor vote. Bipartisan support is required for a final passage. So right now, the Senate AG committee passes the bill. They've got to work on a couple other things, and then things will be moving forward. Key thing here is that Republicans argued that the bill brings needed regulatory clarity and said unresolved issues can still be addressed later in the process. I like that. And the reason why I like that is I don't like these bills that are packed with like 20, 30, 40, 50 different things that are 300 pages long that are not in plain English. I don't like that. I like clear and concise single issue bills that are in plain English that are like maybe 10 pages max that cover one thing at a time. Crypto market structure is incredibly complex. It's going to continue to get complex, but I think it's good where we're going right now. Now, the other important thing is that the Democrats did not want to vote on this, or they didn't have what exactly was said. Let me not mince words here. So the Clarity Act committee on a 12-1 party line vote with no Democrats voting in favor. This is problematic behavior. Okay, this is very, very, very problematic behavior, and the reason why it's problematic behavior is because crypto is for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're red. It doesn't matter if you're blue. It doesn't matter if you're libertarian. Crypto is for every single person. Bitcoin is for every single person. It allows you to enter into a different market. There's no boundaries. Nobody's telling you what you can and can't do. Your performance is based off of how hard you work. It is a free market. It is essentially the good part of capitalism. I don't like corporate capitalism, but I like capitalism as a whole. And when we're talking about capitalism, we're talking about a free market. Everybody, regardless of what they identify as, regardless of their social background, has an opportunity to work really hard, to practice self-education and do well. You can build whatever you want to build. You can trade whatever you want to trade. You can take out as much risk as you want. And it's wonderful. That is the benefit of a true decentralized economy. There's no third-party predatory overreach. And it seems like the Democrats in this particular case don't like that. They don't want a level playing field. They don't want people from any different background to have equal access to money. And that's problematic because everybody deserves equal access to money. Everyone. I don't care if you have a completely different opinion than me. You deserve access to do what you want to do with your money. You might be doing something terrible with your money that I completely don't condone. But at the end of the day, we're talking about a true decentralized economy. So it's very bizarre that particular party is not in favor of it. And that doesn't mean that I've got negative things to say about Democrats. It simply means I'm not understanding the disconnect here. I've heard in the past, I've heard from I've seen some content from liberals. Not a bad thing, but they're saying that it's negative because it's going to further impact the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is completely impacted. It's compromised, okay? The U.S. dollar is in pretty bad shape. And you know what? If Americans want to decide whether they want to use the U.S. dollar or a stablecoin that they can earn yield on, maybe extra $500 a year, heck, that might be somebody's car payment, or that might help somebody cover rent. People should be able to decide what they want to do with their money, and they shouldn't be forced to use a system that was created to fight against them, that was caused to create division. Biggest problem we have in America is social issues. It's always been social issues. And when you have access to more money, you have access to better products and services, which improve your quality of life, which allows you to live a better life and not focus on some of the things that may divide us. Yes, is there still division? Will there always be social issues? Yes, because humans are disgusting. But I think most of you are good for the most part. Smash a like if you agree. But moral of the story is you cannot force anyone to do anything that they want to do with their own will. But what you can do is you can give them an opportunity to be a better person. And it's okay if you see different sides of the spectrum. The moral of the story is we're all trying to improve our quality of life. We're all trying to take care of our families, and we're all just trying to live, trying to go through it. That's it. And this is what this bill is about. This is what Bitcoin and crypto is about giving people more freedom, access to their money. Nobody should be censored. I mean, and again, that's the hard thing I have with the true decentralized economy, because I'm like, there's one or two things you guys know how I feel about when it comes to our babes and our innocence. But other than that, people can do what they want to do. If you're a consenting adult, do what you want to do. The universe takes care of itself. There's consequences for actions. It just is what it is. Now, moving forward. Oh, we got a super chat. Let's see what's going on here. Shout out to Noah. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. He said link is on sale right now. Yeah, we'll take a look at the charts in a little bit. And Gamer, I'm going to get to that story also. Since we're talking about it right now. But Donald Trump said he will announce who the new federal chair will be next week once Jerome Powell leaves. The person will probably be bullish on Bitcoin. I agree with that. I also think it's going to be Rick Ryder from BlackRock. We talked about that yesterday when we talked about what BlackRock said. Rick Ryder said about interest rates is that he wants to keep them low as low as they can go so that it lowers mortgage rates. And I like that idea. But I like my idea better that, since a lot of housing is government anyways, healthcare is government anyways, the government step in and offer 2% interest rates for anybody that wants to buy a single family home, a condo, a townhome, a house. That is their primary residence. If you're 80 years old, you want to sell your house and you want to move downgrade, you should be able to get a 2% loan. If you're just starting out, you're 30 years old, 20 years old, and you want to buy your first condo, 2% loan. Everybody should have access to that if it is your primary residence, not for rentals, not for Airbnbs, not for any of that mess, and for American citizens. Don't see the issue with that. But anyways, let's keep it going. There's a lot of exciting stuff. Today's a good day. We got some Ripple XRP news. We talk about that a lot because that's what you guys like. But anyways, this is another good one. The White House is set to meet with banks, crypto companies to broker legislation compromise. This was earlier today. So, and again, never in a million years, you can say what you want to say about Trump and the markets, but never in a million years did I think the White House would want to meet with banks and crypto companies to compromise, to broker. Because again, the reason why Clarity Act and crypto is held up is because the yield issue. That's a big one with the stable coins, because the banks don't want to do that. Because again, like I think Kraken is offering right now in another country, I can't say it here, but in America, I think they're giving up to 8% on stablecoins. Binance is doing up to 20%. And with your bank, with your savings account or any disposable income you have, they're giving you less than 1%, and they're getting 4% from the Treasury and God knows what else when they take your money and they loan it out. So yeah, this should be an issue that you're concerned about. Yeah, we do want crypto legislation, but at what cost? We want to make sure we're getting a fair shake. So the White House the White House Crypto Council will host a banking and crypto executives February 2nd to discuss market structure. February 2nd, next week, mark your calendars. This is going to be a very, very, very important date. Talks will focus on how the bill treats interest and rewards on stablecoins. Banks argue that rewards risk draining deposits. Crypto firms see rewards as consumer-friendly competition. Non-corporate capitalism, we love it. The banks are a bunch of corporations. The crypto companies are not there yet. And you know what? If the banks have an issue with this, give us more yield. Give us more interest back on our money. But they don't want to do that because they don't want you to get ahead. Last week, we talked about one of the forms I got for one of my business accounts because I got cash in there. And I think I made like $50. It's less than 1%. And if I would be using like one of these crypto accounts for stable coins, it would probably be $400 or $4,000. I don't know. But the point is that you deserve access to more money. Wages are not increasing. The job market is terrible, which we'll talk about Amazon in a little bit. And if you want to take some of your disposable income or some of your savings and put it in something that's going to give you a little bit more money every year so you can make ends meet, or hell, maybe you can even take your family out to dinner to Chili's, which I love Chili's. We love to get Baja Blasted. Love the Mott Squares. Chili's, sponsor me, please. I'll eat those every day. My stomach won't like it because it'll be this big, but I would on stream. But that's what the issue is the banks are being greedy because they don't want to pay you guys interest on your money. They just want to profit off of it. The goal of the meeting is to find a compromise to revive Senate momentum on market structure legislation and reopen House-passed bills. But remember, Polymarket is showing us a 69% chance. So for initially it was, I love that they said 69. Initially it was 80% and now it's lowered to 69%. It's also 68%. This is why I like Polymarket, is because you can kind of scan through and see these things. So right now we're going to see what's going to actually happen with the crypto market structure. We'll see what happens. Right now it's not looking super great. Well, not crypto market structure, apologies, just a government shutdown. We'll see what happens with that. Now, this is another great one from Ellie. So new pro-crypto super PAC Fairshake, which again, I don't like PACs. I don't like lobbying. I don't like any of it, but it is what it is. I don't have control over it. This is how the world works. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean I have the power to remove it, okay? I think that public servants should not be getting compensation for or support from various entities, healthcare, the automobile industry, from unions, from crypto, none of it, but it is what it is. Now, PAC Fairshake says it has a war chest of more than 193 million cash on hand heading into the 2026 midterms. This is bullish for crypto. And I love the fact that Coinbase is giving 25 million, Ripple has 25 million, and A16Z has 24 million. Quote, with the midterms approaching, we are united behind our mission with Fairshake continuing to oppose anti-crypto politicians and support pro-crypto leaders. This is wonderful. What is this saying? All this is saying to me is that, hey, you know what? Crypto is going to continue to grow. Crypto is not going anywhere. And as industry leaders, we're going to step up. We're going to put our money where our mouth is we're going to make sure that we continue to support politicians that are pro-crypto. Even though it's essentially like a bribe. But at the end of the day, if plain dirty is the name of the game, that's how that works. That's called grifting legally within the constraints of the law. But on this channel, the O Show, Everything Crypto Every Day, we grift legally and ethically because we also take accountability for our actions. And we also understand the difference between, we got some morals here, okay? But again, if they're going to do it, that's their business. That's fine. And that's bullish for crypto long term. And I love that Ripple is one of the ones alongside Coinbase that put the money where the mouth is. Why not? Absolutely wonderful. Next on the docket over here, we got some more. SEC statement on tokenized securities. This is another important little tidbit over here. SEC put this out. And this is so crazy because do you really think if Harris became president, we would have this? No, we wouldn't, which is unfortunate because why wouldn't you want to give people access to more money? And why wouldn't you want to essentially put safeguards in place to regulate an industry so that people can do what they want to do, so they can operate in it? It's not blue versus red. This benefits all Americans in a positive aspect. Now, SEC put out this statement on tokenized securities. They say tokenized securities are still securities and fall under existing federal securities laws. New guidance outlines two models: issuer-sponsored tokenization and third-party tokenization. Issue-led tokens represent direct ownership, while third-party models can be custodial or synthetic. Format on-chain versus off-chain does not change registration, disclosure, or compliance requirements. Cool. We're getting closer to understanding what is a security and what isn't a security, and all these laws were made back in 1933, and they're outdated. So we're finally getting some more information about the crypto industry. What's a security? What isn't a security? And that allows companies to come back to America and continue to build. Now, I love this. This is a little clippy clip from Mr. Paul Atkins. So let's hear this. Let's hear this about 401ks, because I don't know about you guys, but you know what? I know that our partners over at I Trust Capital, they allow you to roll over your TradFi stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, we actually have a ref link for it down below. You get $100 if you open up an account. But they allow you to play around with your 401k into crypto. And when I say crypto, I'm not talking about the risky stuff. I'm talking about Bitcoin. I'm talking about the top 20 things that are already crypto spot ETFs. Now, but let's listen to this. Because again, you should have access to be able to do what you want to do with your money.
How do you think about crypto versus any other kind of investment for the average American family out there?
Well, Andrew, a lot of people are already exposed to crypto and other sorts of assets like that through their pension funds, and because they're managed by professional managers in those pension funds.
I don't have a pension fund, but I use Dame, and I created a custom crypto portfolio for me, mostly Bitcoin. But we use that for, his link is down below too, but we use that to help with our taxes with the SEP, depending on, and again, talk to CPA. I've got Scott down below and on my website. But depending on how you play your crypto investments with traditional financial instruments, it could help you with taxes.
So we're talking about the 401ks now, where, we have to do things with respect to the different markets very carefully. We're focused right now on private securities, private equity funds and things like that, where, again, a lot of people are already exposed to those in their managed pension funds. And so we're looking to allow people to have access to those through their 401k, through the professional management of the what is allowed into their funds, their trustees that are looking after those funds.
And again, when we're talking about that, that just makes the crypto market safer. Instead of having, because some people are like, you know what, I'm not going to do the ETFs. I'm not going to do a crypto 401k, SEP, whatever that is. And so a lot of people are managing their own stuff using self-custody, which self-custody is a great thing, but there is room for error. There's room for error with that. It can be. Or they're leaving their stuff on crypto exchanges. They're not practicing good OPSEC. And again, AI is getting to the point where social engineering and all of those things are very scary. Like, I get calls all the time and they're Google spoof numbers and it's scary. So instead of just of not being secure and safe, some people are putting themselves at risk, which that's not okay. Like, we should have the option to where if we want to self-custody ourselves or we want to go through a financial advisor, basically what you want to do with your own money. And now we're on the topic of cold storage. Where is it? Really quickly, if you guys are interested, we are partnered with Arculus. We've got a little code down below over there if you guys want to use it. And this is for people that want to practice self-custody. These are for people that understand how this works and don't want to trust third parties. So if this works for you, we've got the Arculus link down below. It's a wonderful tool over here. There's been no data breaches with Arculus. They also now offer native and liquid staking for Ethereum, Solana, ADA, Tron, and more directly within the hardware-backed cold storage wallet. And again, use code WENDY20 for 20% off Arculus. If you don't want to, that's fine too. But we are partnered with them, and I am a big fan of cold storage, and I am a big fan of the freedom to choose. But that's just me, though. Now, back to this with Paul Atkins. This was good. 401ks are estimated to be around $12.5 trillion, okay? Which is a lot of money. And the cool thing about 401ks is like, it's kind of like a crock pot. You kind of set and forget it. You're contributing weekly. It's like your dollar cost averaging. And you're doing this like on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, bi-weekly, straight from your paycheck, and it's pre-taxed. So you're not paying taxes on it. So if you want to diversify into Bitcoin or XRP or Solana, HBAR, whatever that works for you, through this, you should be able to. There shouldn't be any holdup with it. Like, you should be able to do what you want to do with your own money. That's what Bitcoin and crypto is. Hogwash. Also, Mike Slegg, CFTC chairman. Thanks to President Trump's leadership, the CFTC and SEC are coordinating to codify common sense rules for the road for crypto markets and make USA the premier destination to build, invest. This is wonderful. This is more good news. Like, these guys just want to work together. They want to work together. It's wonderful. Common sense rules. America will not, right now, Dubai is leading as far as the crypto capital of the world. If America wants to be able to compete, we need rules and regulations. We need to know what we can and can't do. In addition to that, we need people to compromise. And you can't have somebody in a position of power who is completely anti-crypto and then somebody who is pro-crypto. It doesn't work that way, which is why Gary Gensler is gone. He was anti-crypto, anti-Bitcoin. And that's not doing his job. The people want clarity on crypto and Bitcoin. People, and again, if you're a public servant, you need to listen to the people who put you in office. And if you're an unelected bureaucrat, you need to listen to the people that put your boss in office, the people that kind of pushed you through. And Gary, in his defense, he was doing that because they didn't want crypto, because they want to continue to keep us divided, which sucks. It just really does. I'm so excited this weekend. I'm still going to be putting content out for you. I'm still going to be live streaming at like 10 a.m. PT on Saturday and Sunday, but I'm going to be off the internet most of the weekend. I'm going to chill. I'm going to go on a little adventure. I got to shop for materials for the house. I'm going to chill. I'm going to try to be offline because I don't want to deal with anybody and their stuff. All I care about is helping you guys make as much money as ethically and legally as possible and my baby and my community. Now, as far as what's going on with crypto, we forgot to tell you guys. About 85,000, or Bitcoin fell under 85,000 as 430 million was liquidated from the crypto markets in the last 60 minutes. And these were shorts. Oh no, they were longs. In the last hour, apologies. In the last hour, longs were liquidated? What? I don't know what's going on here. I guess a lot of people took positions that they were going to long the market and then that didn't work out. That's crazy. That makes no sense. But you know what? This is why I'm not trading like I used to. I don't got time for this volatility. I don't. I just like to DCA and hold. This sucks though. This is not good. Yep, we broke support. It's crazy that we broke support on an incredibly bullish day. Wow. We finally broke support at 86,000, at 83,000. We will be retesting 80,000 soon. That's what Market Cipher is telling me. Yikes. I don't want to look at any other cryptos because they all look absolutely terrible. This is crazy to me. It is absolutely crazy that we're seeing crypto dump based off of this news. I wonder if there's something else going on that we kind of missed. That does happen. Because again, crypto is only a $4 trillion market cap, probably now like $3 trillion now. But this is crazy. Yikes. If any of you got liquidated, I am sorry you got liquidated. It sucks that you got liquidated. One thing I will say, I don't trade as much as I used to. I like to sit on my hands a lot. And one of the best pieces of advice I was given is no action is action. And your job right now, because it's like very bearish market sentiment. I'm not calling for a bear market. Don't put words in my mouth. But is sit on your hands. Dollar cost average and just chill. A lot of people that dollar cost average and chill, that works so much better for them than people actively trading. A lot of people are not cut out to be traders, and that's okay. That's not an insult. That's not a slam. I'm just reminding you to focus on what you're good at and grind and do well. I want y'all to thrive. Focus on what you're good at. We got stuff advancing, all exciting things. Now, we talked about that, Bitcoin liquidations. Robinhood CEO says GameStop incident was a wake-up call for tokenization. I like this story here. He says that tokenization could have prevented the 2021 GameStop trading halt, blaming outdated settlement infrastructure. Experts say traditional brokerages handled similar surges, and Robinhood's failure stemmed from inadequate capital reserves and risk management. Recent SEC guidance states that tokenized assets are required, the same collateral and settlement controls as traditional securities. This is the thing. They were told what to do over there because they are a centralized exchange. So, but he is right. Like Robinhood does need to take accountability, which they can't because they can't. But I like that he does say tokenization does fix things because it's transparent. It's 24/7. It doesn't necessarily stop. So this is good. So shout out to Robinhood. Fed leaves rates unchanged. Powell urges successor to stay out of elected politics as it happened. He's insane. He is really, really, really insane. Where's the clip? Do I have the clip of Powell from yesterday? It's just stupid. Where is it? Do I have it? Oh, I don't have it. Darn it. Oh, wait, do I have it? I don't have it. I don't know where it went. Anyways, he went on out the side of his neck. What do you mean stay out of politics? Powell, what have you been doing? You've been very political. Very, very, very political. I think that it's weird that he's even just shut up. Just shut up. It is all political. But yeah, he's gone. Trump's going to get somebody else. Good riddance, because Powell has been a menace. He's been a menace. Did you guys watch that movie Menace to South Central? I used to love that when I was not even a teenager. I don't know why I was allowed to watch that, but it was crazy back when I was growing up. Anyways, Powell also said that inflation is still somewhat elevated, and Trump's going to be announcing the head of the Fed next week. Powell also says not to read too much into the rise of gold prices. He said rising precious metal prices don't signal macro trouble. This is why Powell needs to go. Okay. Metals are rising for two reasons. To help with the AI stuff, which that's the thing we're going to talk about in a second when we talk about Amazon. And They're also discussing, and also because of economic uncertainty and turmoil. That's what's happening. That's why. So the fact that he's putting out statements that contradict exactly why people are investing in gold, silver, and precious metals is ridiculous, and he needs to go. There needs to be, I'm not an ageist, but even though I like older men, but he needs to go. He needs to go. They need somebody that's a little bit more connected to the current state of reality, to the people. He needs to go. But what else? Yeah, I don't even want to listen to this clip. He's dumb. Golden extreme greed sentiment adds entire Bitcoin market cap in one day. Remember, Bitcoin or gold and silver wiped out $1.7 trillion and then it rebounded. Well, gold's at $5,500 an ounce, which people are just buying to buy it. People are buying the top to buy it. No, they're literally buying because number one, they want to make money, and number two, they want to hedge against all the uncertainty on a global scale. Basically, gold surged past 5,500, adding roughly 1.6 trillion in notional value in a single day. This is the size of Bitcoin's entire market cap. Sentiment indicators show extreme fear and greed in gold and silver. Both dropped sharply earlier today, but they're now recovering. One of the things that I want to say about this, as I'm getting people, especially on Instagram and Facebook, that are asking me, hey, Wendy, should I sell gold? Is it a sign to sell gold? Listen, if you're making money on gold, if you know how to trade these, if you know how to invest properly, you do you. I'm not a big top buyer, but at the same time, Bitcoin is the equivalent of digital gold. I will buy Bitcoin at any price. I'm not invested directly into gold as far as I know of, unless it's in my 401k somewhere. But you do what works for you. If you think you can continue to make money off gold, do it. If you can make money off silver, do it. Sell if you want to sell. It's completely up to you. I have no idea because everything is so freaking crazy in 2026. It's cuckoo. Cuckoo stuff. This was darn it. That was a clip of him and I lost it. Fed has not compiled yet with subpoenas as Powell probe continues. The fact that Powell is being investigated for $2.5 billion that was supposed to be spent on doing some sort of building. And he's literally, they haven't compiled the subpoenas or the documents, or whatever. What the hell? Who does that? If it was a regular person, y'all would be gaffled up. And I wanted to talk about this a little bit, not necessarily that, but I want to talk about Amazon and the jobs. 16,000 jobs as it pushes AI and efficiency. Amazon cuts 16,000 jobs. Companies are firing like crazy. Regardless of what Trump says, regardless of what the economists say, the job market is not good. People are not making more money. People are losing jobs. Jobs are leaving the market as they're pushing AI because a lot of companies think, hey, we're just going to use AI to replace all these jobs when in actuality, you still need humans who govern them. So maybe less jobs, but 16,000 jobs is egregious. It is damaging to the American economy, and it further creates more instability because now these 16,000 people, they're going to be back on the job market and they're going to be looking at other ways to make money. And where are they going to find it? There's not a lot of jobs out there. There's not. Especially for tech. I mean, maybe there is, but I know a lot more people that are unemployed than are getting hired jobs. So this is not good for the economy. And this is exactly why gold and silver are running. Precious metals are running. And a lot of us are confused as to why Bitcoin's not running. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff. And again, when we're talking about AI, I think AI is good in some cases. I don't like AI for customer service. I think that AI is bad for human interaction. And I think that AI really needs to be checked on a lot of social media platforms. I really, really, really do, because it can potentially cause a lot of harm. However, I understand that things need to run its course. So again, I'm a fan of AI if you can use it to improve your quality of life or make you more efficient at your job. But I'm not a fan of AI when it's costing Americans their livelihoods. That's not okay. It's just not okay. It sucks. And I've also heard the way that a lot of these people over at Amazon were laid off was disgusting. So that's just my take on the current events. But I've got to go because I've got some stuff to take care of. But thank you so much. We had like 1,000 people watching at one time just on YouTube. Thank you to everybody on YouTube, on Rumble, on X. We did a little X stream today. Shout out to Sparkwater for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much for the Baja Blast Fund. I actually, I'm going to be taking low if I can get reservations somewhere really, really special next week. Really, really, really special. Okay, Gamer says very high chance of the government getting shut down. This is why I got an $80,000 limit order. That makes sense. But yeah, I'm gonna try to take her somewhere special next weekend. Thank you so much to Lawrence for the $10 super chat. I'm not big on giving my kid vitamins. I try to feed her food that has the stuff in it, but she does have these little gummies I let her take, and we do orange juice. But yeah, when she comes home from her business tonight, we'll see how she's feeling. Baja when Wendy takes low to the restaurant, we do. And when we, just so you guys know, the new people are watching, we talk about getting Baja blasted. It's literally me and my daughter going to Chili's and us splitting like something on the 3 for $10 menu or 3 for $20 menu. Their cheeseburgers are actually really good. And we do like the mozzarella squares because they're really good. And we do that maybe like, I like to take my kid out to eat like on Friday after school, like once a week, just to kind of celebrate all the hard work she's done at gymnastics, at vocal, at guitar. And she also advanced in vocals. She did really well at her performance. So good. So good. But we spend like 20, $30 and we celebrate for all our hard work. And I think it's important to teach your kids budgeting, the importance of spending money, but also saving money and treating themselves. Anyways, sending y'all love and light. I got a video for you coming out at 2 p.m. PT. You're gonna love it. And then I've got the 6 p.m. PT roundup if you missed the live stream. And I'll be back 10:30 a.m. PT tomorrow. And I'm so excited. It's the weekend.